Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and a review all in one on this Mr. Coffee Iced and Hot. This is brand new for 2021. $55 at Target, model number BVMC-IHCMBL. Check out my next video. I also got the Mr. Coffee Frappe Iced and Hot, 3-in-1. So Mr. Coffee is really advertising these a lot on their website. They just started advertising them. So again, the single serve Mr. Coffee, $55. The newer one, or they're both new, but the other one is $110 that I'll be doing a video on next. Okay, so I've got the box open. Comes pretty well boxed up. Be careful, the straw was loose off to the side. Same with the lid. Okay, so right off the bat, it comes with a big note, tumbler and lid and straw are hand wash only. So it does come with a free tumbler. It's got some marks on, it's got the nice Mr. Coffee logo, and it's screw. So, and the straw. So it comes with a manual, it does come with a recipe book, and here's the brewer. It's got a 2-prong cord. It's got this scoop that's on the side, fits in there. One scoop's for iced, one scoop's for hot. They even got that's funny. Fits in there. Little drip tray. Seems pretty well built. I mean, this is all plastic. Here we got the lid. This comes out of the way. There's the reusable filter. Yeah, that's like that really fine plastic filter. There's the filter basket. Took the plastic off, so it's got this little handle. Trying to figure out which way it goes. Oh, okay, it's pretty there. So from the front, there's these 2 notches. They're going to point towards the back. Very apparent where it goes now. Okay. So it does have that little, nope, no plunger, so no pause brewing. It is going to drip on you. That's open all the time, so could be some drips. There's the brew head. Here's where we put the water. It's always going to brew whatever amount of water we put in. It's got these little steps, 6, 8, 12, and 16. If you forget to put the brew head over, this little thing here will move it for you. It's got a pretty nice appearance to it. It is mostly plastic, but there is some metal and then some different color plastic. It's got a hot over ice button. Here's what the underside looks like. And here's what the bottom of it looks like. 120 volts, 900 watts, 60 hertz. And it's got 4 rubber feet. Okay, so it does fit under a kitchen cabinet. It's only about 5 inches wide. Front to back's about 9.5. There is no cord storage. And with it, the lid up all the way, you need about 17 inches. Okay, so this thing was designed for travel mugs. Looks like almost 8 inches. That's a pretty big travel mug or tumbler. So this tumbler is 8 inches. And it fits under there just right, but you can take this drip tray out and get a little bit more. So yeah, with the drip tray out, I can go all the way up almost 9 inches, about 8 3/4. Yeah, that's pretty tall. That's good. Okay, so they want us to do a rinsing brew first. Let's do a real quick rinsing brew. And they want you to wash the tumbler and all this with soap and water. And same with the brew basket and the filter. They want you to fill the tumbler to the water line and then dump it in the back. So it's going to go right here. This is where the water goes. I'm going to put the tumbler. We've got the filter in, the filter basket. And they want you to press the hot brew. So that button's going to light up. It's going to run that fresh water through here just to kind of give it a cleansing rinse. Again, be careful. That water will be hot, so we're just going to brew it right into the tumbler, and then we're going to discard it and clean the tumbler. So I'm going to divide this video in two. I'm going to do an iced coffee first, and then I'm going to do a hot coffee. So it does come with this reusable filter, but it also says you can use basket style filters, 1 to 4 cup. You don't want to use both of these, it's either or. So this one, you will get a little bit of sediment in your coffee, and then this one you won't. So up here we've got the brew basket. Again, it's kind of tricky. Make sure you get it installed correctly. We're going to use the reusable filter. Just put it in there. Now we've got the scoop. Now it says hot brew. Just read the directions. Hot brew. 8 ounce, 1 scoop. 12 ounce, 1.5 scoop. 16 ounce, 2 scoop. So depending on what you want to brew, no, we're going to do an iced coffee, I'm sorry. And then you just flip it over for over iced. Over ice, 1 to 2 scoops. Okay? That's what this big over ice scoop is. So they make this really easy for over iced. It's got these, so there's the water line and there's the ice line. So we're going to fill it up to the water line, dump it in there, then we're going to fill this up with ice, and then we're going to put our coffee in. So you can use any coffee you want, just make sure it's at a medium grind. So like a coffee for like a normal drip coffee maker is ground at a medium grind. That's what you're going to want. So let's use the big scoop. It's a big scoop. And then you just put the coffee right there. Now it says if I want it bolder, I could use a whole nother scoop or a half a scoop. Just don't go more than 2 scoops. But you can try it out how you like it with 1 scoop. Okay, so I've got the tumbler filled up. You can use filtered water, bottled water, just don't use distilled water. So let's dump it right here in the back where it goes. Be careful, it will steam up on you if you have just got done using it. So we can see that's right below, it's between the 8 and the 12 ounce, so that's probably about 10 ounces. Move the head over. Okay, so I've got the tumbler filled up with ice. That's a lot of ice. So then you're going to make sure you place it down here, close the lid, and you're just going to hit the over ice button. So it starts brewing coffee right away. I'm anxious to see if it brews it any different. Like you've got a hot button and an over ice button. I wonder if the over ice button brews it at a different temperature. Looks like it's going to do like a bold brew, like a pause. It's like pausing a little bit. So the temperature coming out of the bottom is about 174, 180. And we can check the brew up here, the water up here. That's pretty hot. 190. And again, whatever water you put back here, every time you press the brew button, it brews all that water. So that water is going to go down, get heated, and shot back up the brew head. So I don't think it's brewing at a lower temperature. That's 200 degrees. That's really hot. That's going to melt that ice quick. So you're probably going to want to bump that up to about 2 tablespoons, 1.5, just because your ice melts so much. It's going to dilute that coffee so much. Now this does get kind of hot. It is quick. Very quick. Oh, okay, so it's done. You can see it melted quite a bit of the ice. Just want to see what you end up with. We want to be around 35. Yeah, we're getting there. 42. And man, does it melt the ice. Ooh. So at this point, you could add some more ice. But I would definitely, let's give it a taste. Yeah, it's just a little weak. That ice melts so much, you're going to want to do a little bit more coffee grounds in there. So let's take a look. There's our coffee grounds. Again, we can add some more. We can go up to 2 of these scoops. So I would try it at 1.5 scoops, and then if you want, try 2 scoops. All right, so let's go over cleanup. This can be hot, so be careful. That thing scares you. So we need to lift the whole brew basket out. There's another handle here. There's a handle for the filter, but there's another handle for the brew. Now it will drip on you, so be careful. It's already made a mess. But you'll have to take that over to your trash can, dump out the coffee grounds, and then rinse that out. Okay, so that's the iced coffee. We're gonna do the hot coffee now. This is gonna come in really handy for people that will have big travel mugs. So you got to put your own coffee grounds down here. There's no K-cup or anything. K-cups are so limited on just 2 tablespoons. So again, the iced coffee was pretty straightforward. Now we have some variables. So when we do a hot coffee, we can brew anywhere. You can do the same with iced coffee, but they just make it kind of standard. But the hot coffee, I can brew a 6 ounce, an 8 ounce, a 12 ounce, or a 16 ounce. And then in here, they give me a chart. Hot brew, 16 ounce, 2 scoops. So I did some measurements. That scoop is actually 3 tablespoons. That scoop is about almost over 5 tablespoons, the big one. So 3 tablespoons or just 1 scoop for an 8 ounce. 16 or 12 ounce is going to be a scoop and a half. 16 ounce is 2 scoops. So it does say if you want it, you could add an extra half to 1 tablespoon. So it looks like, or no, scoops. It looks like you could add a maximum of 3 scoops to that filter basket. But we're just going to do 2 scoops. I'm going to do a big 16 ounce. Again, for travel mugs, this thing's going to be awesome because, you know, other than doing a whole big pot of coffee, this thing will do 16 ounces. So again, we're going to use the small side of the scoop. Get that out of the way. I'm just going to use 2. Again, we just put it right there in the middle. Put the head. Now I'm going to, what most people do is they just use your container to fill it up with water and then use it to pour in there. That way you know it won't overflow it. Okay, so I've got my container filled up. I'm going to pour it in. And again, this one, see, that's kind of deceiving. That's almost 16 ounces. So I'm just going to put this down here. I'm going to close the lid. Now I'm going to hit the hot brew. And one thing I forgot to show you, it does shut off automatically. There is no warming plate like a coffee maker. After this thing is done brewing, it shuts off automatically. Again, coffee starts coming out almost immediately. It is a very quick coffee maker. So what I noticed with this hot brew is it just continuously brews. When we were doing over iced, it was kind of like a pause. It would just brew for a little bit and then kind of pause just a very little bit and then continue the brew. That, on some coffee makers, they call that like a bold brew. So yeah, we got about the same temperature coming out, 175. Let's check it up here. Yeah, same temperature, 197, 200. So the water temperature is the same no matter whether you're in hot or over ice. It just brews it a little bit slower when you're over ice. And again, we can see it's whatever water I put back here, it's brewing. I've got the reusable filter back in there. Okay, so that took less than 3 minutes. So in my travel mug, I end up with 180 degree coffee. That's really hot. That's really hot coffee. Now you do have to kind of let it stop. And again, it might drip for a little bit, but it's got a pretty nice drip tray. I like that it's got this little opening that you can grab the drip tray. And there's the coffee. Okay, so we know it worked good with travel mugs. They're really tall. I want to do just an experiment. I want to put like a coffee cup. So let's say I've got the 8 ounce, I just got 8 ounces in there. So let's just do an 8 ounce hot coffee. I want to see if it splatters a bunch. Okay, so it's got a pretty nice stream. So if you've got a small cup, I'm not getting a bunch of splashes around. Again, there's just no way to move the cup up. So I wanted to verify that. I'm just reusing the coffee that was in there, but I wanted to see how well it did. So yeah, it's finishing up this 8 ounce cup, and I don't think I got any splatters around. Okay, so clean up. The only parts that are dishwasher safe is this, the reusable filter, and this in the top rack of the dishwasher. The tumbler's not, and it didn't even say if the drip tray was, but let's take a look. Got the recipe. Talks about adding the different sugars and different things to your pretty neat recipe book. I like that they give you these recipe books, because sometimes this can be very confusing how to, like there's a skinny vanilla iced coffee, how to make. So it does have kind of a nice look to it. This is going to be great for people that have travel mugs. Unfortunately, it is kind of a single serve. To hurry up and do another one takes a little bit. You got to wash that filter out, but it can be done. You know, the filter basket would be a little hot. You do get that puff of steam coming at you if you put water in here after it's brewed. But it looks really nice. I'm very impressed with it, and it's very quick. You can play around with the iced coffee. You know, don't put as much water in there. Definitely add some more coffee grounds to it to get it to be just a little bit more bolder, because it does melt the ice pretty quick. So an iced coffee would taste really good. And travel mugs, because filling up travel mugs can be hard if you don't have an actual coffee maker. And again, it just shuts itself off, so there's no worry there after it's done brewing. There's no warming plate that stays on and burns the coffee. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll put a link in the show description notes for these mugs and this mug. And if you could, please like and subscribe.